Some things are worth waiting for. This is definitely one of them. And how are you going to celebrate getting married? Because you're too dressed up not to celebrate.
We don't like it.
We're gonna go on our honeymoon.
You're going to go eat? Honeymoon.
Yeah.
Both.
Yeah.
So tell me who's in the audience today.
My parents, his mom, his brothers,
My
sister.
parents, my brothers, sisters, and yes,
And your
brothers and sisters and mom.
Yeah, my daughter
My daughter.
and my son.
And
My
son?
son.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Special day for you guys too, right? You got to be here to watch them do it. I'm sure people would say, what took you so long? 13 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And are you exchanging rings today?
Yes.
Yeah.
Terrific. Okay, so let me make sure I'm pronouncing names correctly. Do you go by Angel or Anel?
Angel.
Angel Armando de la Torre.
Yes.
And Anel Magali Rosas Diaz. I got that. Okay. So if you're taking photos or video, you can go anywhere you want to go.
Thank you.
So that perfect picture. I'm going to invite the two of you to stand right about there.
Like facing each other or facing?
A little bit of both. We're going to improvise that part.
Improvise.
We're going to improvise that part. All right. I think everybody, the paparazzi's ready.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm ready if you're ready.
I'm ready.
You're ready. You've been ready for a long time. Okay, there they go. They're fanning out. So good afternoon and welcome. I am Deputy Commissioner of Civil Marriage David Brown, and this afternoon, before these members of your family, including your two children, it is going to be my privilege to unite Angel Armando de la Torre and Anel Magali Rosas Diaz in civil matrimony. So a wedding ceremony, even if it's given in a county office building on a Friday afternoon, is an opportunity, among others, to do a couple of different things, starting with getting dressed up for the occasion. And it is also an opportunity, among others, to stand a little closer together, you know, 'cause that's better. Because you're about to say I do. It's also an opportunity to call time out on what can be a very busy, crazy world. Just put it on pause, throw it out the window for just a couple of minutes in honor of what you are about to do. Because you're standing right where couples stand, moments away from saying I do and affirming your commitment to each other after being together for 13 years in the eyes of the law. That's a big moment. And it's an opportunity to think about your journey that brought you to this very spot. And along the way, to think about your love for each other and your joy and happiness at being together. And to think about the two lives that you've created and brought into this world that you are raising as father and as mother, and soon to be as husband and wife. And also then to think about your future together, the feelings of hope and hopefulness for not just the two of you as husband and wife, but also for you as a family. And then to share all of that with the people in your life who know you, love you, and are crazy about you, some of whom are recording every move you make. That just means there's people in your life that would do anything for you, that love you and support you on this journey through life that you are taking together. So it's an opportunity to feel their love for you and their joy and their happiness for you, and also for you to love them back and to appreciate them being on this journey that the two of you are taking together. And to have all of that with the same person, that's a reason to get all dressed up. That's a reason to celebrate and go on a honeymoon. So let's make this official. I'm going to ask the two of you to turn and face each other.
So we got a one hand?
What?
We got a one hand?
You don't have to, but I'm going to ask you to. You can hold hands with each other if you like. And the reason I do that is because I'm kind of old-fashioned about these things. I've got this question here in my book. We've all heard the question before, in one form or another. And we already know your answer. So there's no surprise in what's about to come. But you've been waiting a good long 13 years for somebody to come along and ask you this question, because you've never been asked this question before in your entire lives. So in a couple of moments from right now, you're going to be answering a question for the very first time ever. Your answer isn't to me. Your answer is to each other. And that's why it's so much better to hold hands with each other and look lovingly into each other's eyes. The question goes like this. Do you each promise to love and comfort one another, to honor and respect one another in sickness and in health, in prosperity and adversity, to be true and to be faithful to each other, and to do everything you can to make each other happy?
Yes.
That's the part, that's right. And Angel, do you give yourself and your life into these loving hands of Anel as her husband, to live together in the bonds of matrimony?
I do.
Why don't you give your bride a hug?
I like or kiss.
Whatever you like. Because you get to do it again. Anel, do you give yourself and your life into these loving hands of Angel as his wife, to live together in the bonds of matrimony?
I do.
Why don't you give him a...
Another kiss?
Now, the usual way people mark the fact that they're saying I do is through an exchange of wedding rings. Now, wedding rings are symbols, that's really all they are. Sometimes people spend a lot of money on their symbol, and other times people don't exchange rings at all. It doesn't mean if you go to one of these fancy stores and spend a lot of money on a ring and carry it around in a fuzzy little box, some of them even have lights in them, and then put the ring on someone's finger, that you love that person more, or that you're more committed to them than if you didn't do all of that and spend all that much money. I'd like to think that what you've given to each other these last 13 years, what you're giving to each other today, and what you will give to each other long into the future is something you can't buy at a store. It doesn't fit in a fuzzy little box. And besides, there's other symbols of love and commitment. One happens to be right there, and is 2 years old, and the other is sitting right in front of you, and I don't know how old he is. 12. Your children are the best symbols there are of the two of you together. No ring can compare. But it's a nice thing to do in a wedding ceremony. So I hope your rings remind you of the vows that I'm going to ask you to take. So Angel, if we could start with you, if you could please place the ring on Anel's finger. And if you could please repeat after me. In pledge
In pledge
of the vow
of the vow
between us,
between us,
I give you this ring
I give you this ring
as a symbol
as a symbol
of our love.
of our love.
And Nell, if you could place the ring on Angel's finger. With thanks to our ring bearer. And if you could please repeat. In pledge of the vow between us, I give you this ring
I give you this ring
as a symbol
as a symbol
of our love.
of our love.
So may these rings, and of course your children, signify and represent that the two of you are united in a partnership of love and a committed life to one another. And therefore, by the authority vested in me by the state of California, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You are married. You may kiss the bride.
Pause. Beso, beso, beso. Beso.
Who do you think is going to be the first to give you a hug?
I
I
don't know.
don't know.
My son.
These first.
Diego.
Everybody just.
Sure.
Diego.
Bendiga.
He is.
Bendiga, Ben.
Oh. Hug her too. Hug her. Don't be scared.
Dizzy, go.
Ben.
Dizzy,
Go,
go.
Ben.
Dizzy, go.
Aquí, Pablo. Aquí, volteate. Bendiga. Así. Acá.
Dizzy, go.
Ven, ven. JC, ven.
No
Aquí,
quiere.
Aquí, ven.
No quiere.
Go, go, go. No quiere. Mami.
¿Te vas a sentar?
Do you want a picture all together?
Yeah.